I'm joined today by Averjill Rookwood for our Liquid Assets interview series, where we have candid conversations about all things money and career. Averjill is the founder of the Corporate Doula and a leader in the employee benefits and workplace well-being space. Averjill, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me today.
You're welcome. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, so great. And since this is the Liquid Assets interview series, would love to know what's filling your cup today.
Well, I'm from Brooklyn, New York, but I'm coming to you from the South. And here we drink Arnold Palmer's, which is half iced
Ooh.
tea, half lemonade. So it's delicious. I'm refreshed and I'm ready to go.
Oh my gosh, I am jealous having a little bit of colder spring weather here today. So I have my hot coffee in my cup, but can't wait for summer months and some cold iced tea. Amazing. Well, we have so many great questions for you today. So would love to kick off and just start off learning a little bit more about what you do now in your role as the corporate doula, and then a little bit about your career up to this point, your time in the benefits space.
Sure. As the corporate doula, I kind of drive in two lanes. The first lane is to help the employees or individuals themselves. And that's in a traditional doula standpoint. I'm there for you, advocating, rubbing your back, saying helpful things, teaching childbirth education classes to you. But I also help you navigate your benefits as you work. So that can be anything from benefits that allow you to leave work when if on bed rest, how you come back and how you maintain your pay. So what does short-term disability mean for you versus any state or federal leaves like FMLA? And the other lane I travel is to help the employers directly because of me formerly wearing a hat in benefits for so many years. Lastly, as a benefits manager, I've sat in their seats. So I can help them from two perspectives, from that person that helps their employees, but then that person who knows the budget considerations and all the red tape that they have to go through to help them make very strong decisions to strengthen the family benefit options and packages that they give their employees who work so very hard for them.
That's amazing. That's amazing work that you do. I know that it's such an exciting but also stressful time for families when they're welcoming a new member into their family. So it's so empowering that you help them through that time in so many different capacities. Amazing. Well, I'd love to dive a little bit more into the money topic. I know that it can be a taboo topic for people to talk about, but in your work working with both, families and the employers, why is it that employees and employers should talk about money more openly in the workplace, in your opinion?
I mean, we work for two things for outside of personal fulfillment. We work for compensation and we work for benefits. And so
Hmm.
money kind of is the thread that goes through all of that. And so I think we're no longer in a society like maybe our grandparents used to work 30, 40 years somewhere and have like a pension that they knew they were going to get. So I think if you think about company culture, to take on a persona, that persona is probably going to have some responsibilities and, some moral responsibilities and some ethical responsibilities. And that is one of them. Someone has devoted their time and attention to make your product, your service grow for the time that they were with you.
Hmm.
How can you invest in them? And so I feel that money is, a necessary topic as someone travels through their career on their way to retirement.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I love that point about those companies investing in their employees as a return for them putting so much time in. I love that perspective. And then pivoting a little bit more to your role working directly with families, I'm curious what your thoughts are on how couples should talk about finance as they're preparing to start their family and welcome someone new into their family.
Oh, just like anything else, to start a family is a decision. I will say there are financial quote unquote requirements behind that, but it's not really, it's considerations is a better word. Financial considerations that they have to now put on the table when deciding to grow their family. So what does that mean? What does each partner bring to the table in terms of finances? What are the expectations? Because you definitely don't want to start to hash that out in the midst of new baby stress or in the midst of
Right.
stress trying to start a family. So it's just better to get it out the way as soon as possible and make room for adjustments. And you know, for me, if they're working with me, you know, use what your employer has available to you to the best, you know, to the highest utilization, so that you can
Hmm.
get what they have given you to assist you in this transitional time in your life.
Right. Yeah, definitely. And kind of a follow-up question to that, as being in the benefits world and your work with families and women preparing to welcome a baby into the family, what's maybe the smartest financial decision you see people making, or benefits decision you see people making during this stage of life? Is it that thinking ahead and having those conversations early on, or are there any other things that really contribute to success there?
For the individuals, I would definitely say you hit the nail on the head, thinking ahead. So what does that
Hmm.
mean? What's available? Benefits that you didn't think about before, like what's a 529? Or why do I personally need an IRA? Like, I don't, is it bad luck to think about child life insurance? It's not. Get it. Um, you know, because there's, you know, pregnancy, birth brings life and sometimes death. You know, it's a reality for either the birther or, you know, that new baby. It happens. It's not just a good. And with the employers, I think the best thing they can do is not think of their shop as a one-stop shop. There's no silver bullet for all of their family forming employees or family sustaining employees. So having something, even if it's just a little something, for everyone along the way in their journey, as according to their demographics, you know? So if
Right.
people are trying to start families, having fertility-based benefits are awesome. If they're, you know, they're in the midst of having families, it's great for them to have family-centric benefits to pull from. And then there's the postpartum, you know, and then if there is loss, what is that? So we're just coming off of the heels of New Zealand granting bereavement benefits for miscarriages. That's fantastic, right? But that's on a government
Yeah.
level. That doesn't stop Acme Incorporated in the United States from making that decision on their own, not waiting for it to be a federal type decision. So
Mhm.
that's what I mean about looking through the whole continuum of family forming and family sustaining at work.
Amazing. Yeah, there's so many different touch points that you have to think about when both returning for work and preparing for that moment in your life. So love that perspective. So now shifting gears a little bit more into your time in the benefit space, what's maybe the coolest or most impactful benefit that you've seen a company offer, and why is that benefit the best, or the most impactful for their employees?
There's no way I can choose one impactful benefit because, like we just talked about, there's so many different touch
Right.
points, you know, there's so many stages. And so you see certain things really come through in the nick of time for someone. And it's so fulfilling, as
Mhm.
you know, in my benefits manager role, to see that, wow, we had something in place that came through for one of our employees. And let me tell you, employers out here, let me have a moment with you. Hello. That moment builds loyalty that you could never buy. That moment um, puts your name out there in the workforce as a company that cares, whether that employee stays with you or not. You were thoughtful enough in your benefits to have something already in place. No special needs requests, you know, needed to be submitted. That's the most awesome, when you have something, when you've studied your demographic and you have met them where they are. Whatever that looks like, that's the sweet spot.
Yeah, that's amazing. And it must make employees feel so special when they feel heard by their employer as well.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, amazing. So now thinking a little bit, people enter the workforce every year. This year and last year specifically have been a struggle for many new people entering the workforce. So what advice or guidance do you have for aspiring benefits and workplace well-being professionals who are looking to just kickstart their career sometime soon?
I would say be as well rounded as you can. So for me, the reason why I'm comfortable having when people think about benefits, they think about, medical, dental, vision, those things that we use all the time that's in front of our faces as benefits, more health related. But
Mhm.
because of how I grew up in the benefits world, it included the money part of it to me. And I can clearly see the bridges between financial based benefits, leave based benefits to health based benefits. It is all interwoven and so very important. I call them close cousins. And so when you make sure that you are well rounded, you will create plans for your employee base that is well rounded as well. There's no sense in having the best health plan, and not only does no one have a great opportunity for a match in their 401k or repayment for their student loans, but worse than that, I believe, is that they don't know it exists. So you have it and your communications is poor, so they don't know that
Mhm.
it exists and to take advantage of it. So that's the worst. So be well-rounded and then produce a well-rounded product and lobby for it. Like, even if you get some pushback, fight hard, give the reasons why the data is out there.
Yep, absolutely. And I love that piece that you said about communication. That's so key when it comes to benefits. So having those communication skills, is so valuable, and thinking of new ways to get it out there to your workforce. So
Yeah.
definitely a really important aspect. Amazing. My last question, and then hopefully we can do some rapid fire fun questions, is about burnout, because I know it's something that so many people are experiencing right now. It's so real. So I want to know, what keeps you motivated through these strange, tough times, this uncertainty, and what guidance do you have to offer others who might be feeling burnt out, either as a result of their job or just being home all the time during these times?
I would say find your why and then factor yourself into the why. So for me, my why are those families, those
Hmm.
individual families that I help, but then also the families that I help by helping their employers. It's just so rewarding to know that that's my way of supporting people, and it just feeds me. But then I also have to make time and space and room for just Averjill. What does Averjill need to do to replenish herself? What does Averjill need to do to renew herself? What does Averjill need to do to refresh herself? Do those things. And that's what I have to do, those things, because I preach it, I teach it, so I have to live it. Because if you're my client, whether that's an individual or employer, I am baking that in to what is done. So I have to be very mindful to do it for myself.
Yeah, I love that. And just to say, I feel your energy and everything, even just over Zoom. So that definitely comes through, that you're feeding yourself and taking the time for yourself, and definitely makes me inspired to do the same for myself. So excited to share this message with everyone that watches. Amazing. Well, I think we have a few minutes left, so would love to do some fun rapid fire questions.
Yes.
The first question I have for you is, retirement is something that people think about, for so long, and save for so long. So what would be your dream retirement when you get to that point?
I want to be able to work just because I feel like it. So I want to
Mm-hmm.
work these 3 months and then I'm out for the rest of the year. I'm a beach type of girl, a warm weather type of girl. So I need a couple houses that will facilitate that type of life. I'm
Yes.
I'm a daughter of two Jamaican immigrants. And so, water and sand is just what I do.
Mm-hmm. That sounds like a dream right now, I have to say. My next question is, true or false, money can't buy happiness?
That is so hard, Carly. Okay, so if I'm answering from the center of self, it can't. It really can't. But having money, and I think it's money. There's nothing like money that you've worked hard for. And by hard, I don't
Hmm.
mean like sweat and almost killed yourself for it. I mean, you worked smartly for it. So
Right.
for those who are just starting off, get in the game, because the longer you're in the game, the more it has to give you at the end. So, save, invest, be wise about it, so that money gives you options. That it's
Hmm.
not happiness, money gives you options, and options are a
Right.
glorious thing to have.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Next question is, what's a secret talent that you have?
I have no secret talents. I let the world know about my talents. I do not hoard them for myself. I would say that my talent is really connection and communication. I love
Hmm.
to hear and learn very complex things and be able to break it down for people in a simple way that they can understand and take with them. That gets me fired up to be able to do that. And so I do that through my work in many different ways, in my doula work, but then in my kind of consulting work as well. So those are my talents, and I let them be known.
I love that. That should be a mantra for 2021 and moving forward. Don't hide your hidden talents. No more secret talents.
No
Share
more.
them with the world. Such a
Exactly.
good message. Amazing. So, my last question, who is one woman who has inspired you in your life or career?
There's definitely not just one. So I'm just gonna put my mom on the mantle and say, she at every stage of my life has been a great example for me. But in business, I would definitely have to say her name is Barbara Young. She was like this awesome lady at church when I was a young girl. She just had everything all together. She owned like 3 insurance agencies, like 3 state farms. She drove a badass Jaguar. It just, and she was always dressed to the nine, but sweet as can be. And that was like my first example, like, wow, look at a woman in business who just has it all
Hmm.
together and is never hesitates to share her knowledge, to share her experience, to share her pitfalls with young girls and young women who ask. The knowledge was here for the taking, and I just will never forget that. It's what she said, but it's also what she exuded in business.
Hmm.
And I'm here talking about it like a gazillion years later. She was like a boss back before I knew what that was.
I love that. Yeah. Own your success, own your knowledge and share that with the world. Absolutely. Kind of like not sharing your hidden secrets. Put all of your accomplishments out there and all of your secrets out there to share.
Exactly. It's for a reason. Little does she know her being a boss was there inspiring Averjill Rookwood for the rest of her life. Like she didn't know that.
Right.
She was just being her. So you just got to be yourself and, be it to the best of your ability.
Absolutely. You never know who you're going to inspire. And Averjill, you've absolutely inspired me today in just hearing about your life, your career, your words of wisdom. So thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us today. And can't wait to see what else you have in store.
Oh, thank you. It was my pleasure. Thanks so much, Carly, for having me.